Okay, hi, we're live on air. We're doing theatre games now, and we're delighted to welcome back the students from Argentina. Hello, Argentina.
Hello.
There, wait, do we have the visual? Yes, here we go. Sorry about that. Hi, Argentina.
Hi.
And Argentina, meet New York.
Hello. Hello, New York.
Okay, cool. So today we have an amazing actor with us, Chris Bannow. And I've known Chris since he was in, oh, he's going to hate me saying this, but anyway, grade school, let's say. Well, I've known him a long time, and he just recently graduated from the Yale School of Drama, so I think we should give him a clap for that. That's a major school. And he also studied at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Arts and has a BFA from Boston University. 2 years ago, you may like to know that he was in a David Chase film. David Chase is the guy who did, what, Sopranos on HBO and a whole lot of other things, major filmmaker. And the film, in case you want to see it, is called Not Fade Away. And last year, this is even hard to imagine, but I'm so proud of you, Chris, for this. He understudied Paul Giamatti in Hamlet at the Yale Repertory Theatre, and that's something that actors aspire to do their entire lives. He's done that before he even graduated. That is just astonishing. And then, as if that were not enough, he also writes plays and songs. He's a musician. He plays the ukulele. He plays the bass. He plays guitar. So this is a multi-talented person, and I'm really honored and grateful that he could come and join us today. So I'm going to just hand it over to Chris, who knows just so what to do. Okay, so there you go, Chris. That's the best I can do for an interview, because I am really impressed with you, and it's hard to even put it into words.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Annabelle. Well, I just want to first off saying hello, everyone. This is my first time doing this, so it's really exciting. Hello, Argentina. Hello, New York. I'm in New Haven, Connecticut right now, which is pretty close to New York, or it's just southeast of New York and pretty far from Argentina. But I'm happy to be with all of you. And I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit because you both are working on Shakespeare right now. Is that correct?
Yes.
You're both working on Macbeth. At school, we've been studying a lot of Shakespeare, and we've kind of been exploring all sorts of plays, from comedies to this, which is a tragedy because it ends with the main character dying, which normally happens in tragedies. And the thing about Shakespeare, I'm sure you guys have all noticed, is that it's pretty heightened language, right? It's pretty, it's almost like poetry in a way. And you read it today and you're like, how do I even begin to understand this? You know, it's it almost seems a little too elevated, or it seems a little too heightened. But actually, even back then in the 16th, 17th century, no one was speaking like this. You know, people didn't go around saying, "Thou art," you know, people were speaking in a really kind of casual way. There was slang back then as there's slang today, and you know, now we have abbreviations and we have text messages and we have ways of kind of condensing language. But what Shakespeare was really doing is, by writing this way, he was giving his actors a kind of template, or a kind of blueprint to do these plays with. I don't know if you guys know today, but you know, when someone writes a book or a play, they write it all in one big document, right? And then you read it. So when you read a book, you get the whole thing, right? You get the whole book.
Sorry, to interrupt. What do you mean by blueprint?
By blueprint, it's kind of a guideline. So his script is kind of a guideline, and the language kind of tells you what is happening on stage. And we'll explore that a little bit later. But he kind of gives you these words that seem really poetical, but when you say them out loud, they really kind of give you action, and they give you the argument, and they really solidify what's happening on stage. Oh yeah.
This is new.
But
yeah, sometimes I think of the actual script as being almost like notes to the actor.
Right.
Then the audience gets what the actor does with them.
Right. Exactly. And so the way that they used to work on this was really different. So for example, New York, are you guys reading a book right now in school? Let's see if we can see in the chat.
They're chatting, see? They are writing there. We can read what they say.
So in New York, are you guys reading a book right now in school? And if so, what is the book that you guys are kind of reading at the moment? Or one that you just finished?
The teacher was typing there. He may have stepped away from the computer.
Because it's there in Spanish. You are reading that book. You can tell them if they ask you.
Maybe the Argentinians can tell us what they're reading.
Yeah. What are you guys reading in Argentina?
The Odyssey for kids.
The Odyssey?
Yes, for kids. They are in the middle of it.
Oh, great. And so when you read the Odyssey, there's chapters for each part of the book. Is that right?
Yes. We have time.
Yes.
So and you have the book that has all the chapters in one book, right?
Yes.
So Shakespeare, he wouldn't give all the actors all the chapters. He would give actors only their lines, and they wouldn't know what else was happening in the play.
Oh.
So it's kind of like when you're reading a book, it would be like if you only had chapter 1, chapter 7, and chapter 10. You wouldn't necessarily know what was going to happen in the other chapters. And so what that meant was that actors had only their lines and no one else's. They would learn their lines, and then when they went on stage to perform, they would have to wait and see what other people said and did. So it would kind of be like if you read a book and you read chapters 1, 7, and 10, and then you had to meet with your friend who had read chapters 2, 5, and 8, and you would kind of share.
And what was the purpose, Chris? What was the real purpose for that?
Well, the purpose, I mean, the real purpose was that Shakespeare, he wasn't writing books. He wasn't writing this to have it all written down. In fact, it's taken people hundreds of years to find all of his plays and put them together. And there's actually lots of different versions of his plays because he never wrote one single format for it. So there was no one binding of Macbeth. People would see his plays and they would write down the words, and then that became the documentation for it. So he wasn't writing books. He was writing plays. He was giving actors speeches because he was an actor himself. And so you know, nowadays we learn about Shakespeare in school and we have it in these books, right? And it feels a little academic, you know, or it feels a little inaccessible. He wasn't writing it that way at all. He was writing this for actors to perform in front of an audience. He wanted these words to be heard by the audience. He didn't want them to be read in a book. Because sometimes when you read words in a book, you kind of lose, or you lose the sounds, and Shakespeare was really interested in the sounds of these words. I mean, he invented so many words that we use today. I wish that I had actually a list of Shakespeare words invented, but it's actually pretty remarkable how many things he added to the English language, just because. So for example, he invented the words addiction. He invented the word amazement. He invented the word dawn, as in the dawn rising, as in the sun rising. He invented the word compromise, which is two people coming together. He invented the word bandit, someone who steals. I mean, Shakespeare was just, as he was writing, he was inventing all of these words because he was really interested in what words could do. Which is all to say. Sorry, was there a question?
A lot. Even lots of words to curse. Dirty words.
Dirty words as well. That's right.
I cannot remember any now, but I got to know that he invented lots of them.
Yeah. He invented lots of slang for calling people, you know, dirty and poor and downtrodden. He was also really kind of dangerous. He was really kind of offending some people by inventing these words.
Can I ask you a question? One more question?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Pilar wants to ask you something.
Did he act his plays?
Shakespeare was an actor. There's no real documentation as far as if he was in his plays, but there were some famous actors that are documented as playing these roles. He was an actor with a company, and then he started writing the plays for his company of actors to perform. So it'd be like if you guys in your classroom, if someone in your classroom decided that you wanted to write a play for your friends, and then you would cast them in the roles, and then you would help kind of direct them. He was writing for his friends, for the people that he knew really, really well. And he wanted to give them fun things to do, fun stories to tell.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Of course, that's a great question. And I think, you know, it's true that Shakespeare, he wasn't a teacher, he wasn't a nerd, he was an actor, and he wanted to tell really, really good stories. And so Macbeth especially is a really, really great story because it's about this guy who wants to be king, and he kind of, through his own greed and his own ambition, loses sight of what he has, and he just always wants more, he always wants more, he always wants more, until it leads to his destruction in the end. And it's a good story to us as an audience to see, because you see this guy who's driven by his passion and can't see the danger that awaits in front of him. So that's kind of just a basic background, and all of that is to say is that Shakespeare wanted the words to be said out loud, and he wanted these things to be exciting and to be shared. He didn't want them just to be read in a book. So today, I think we're going to explore Macbeth and some of the words, and we're going to kind of do it as actors. We're going to use our bodies, and we're going to use our voices, and we're going to see if it's not just a little bit more fun to do that as opposed to read it in a book. You know, it's just a little bit more fun to be on our feet and using our bodies and our voices. So
going social.
Sorry?
Macbeth goes social.
Macbeth goes social, exactly. So thank you guys all for doing this with me. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to do a couple of warm-ups if you guys could stand up and just kind of use our bodies and use our voices a little.
Okay, let's see. Try to make a semicircle. Make a semicircle, and let's see if we can.
And so, New York, are you guys looking at a video up there? Is that where I am?
I think you're on a big screen.
Oh, I'm on a big screen.
Have a screen. Do you think it's all right or not to have it?
I know. Where you guys are is great, Argentina. That's
Okay.
yeah. New York. So New York, you're looking at me there, which is cool too. So yeah. So let's stand up, everyone.
And then you can change places. This who's sitting there.
So.
Perfect.
So for the next couple of minutes, we're all going to be actors. Okay. I don't know if some of you have acted before, or some of you have performed in front of an audience before, but for the next 20 minutes or so, we're all going to learn how to be an actor, and you guys can take this with you wherever you go. So I'm just going to push this back a little bit so you can all see me. So what actors do before they perform, before they work on anything, is they warm up. You guys have probably done it in exercise class. You guys have stretched your legs a little, or you've maybe done push-ups, or you've done you've run around the lap. But these are warm-ups to kind of get our body loose and to be ready to play. Because they called it a play because you had to play to do it. You had to have fun when you were doing it. So the first thing that we're going to do is just with our bodies. It's really simple. You're going to take your right hand in the air.
What?
And you're just going to start shaking it, shaking your right hand, shaking your right hand.
Right hand.
Yeah. And while you're shaking it, I want everyone to say, "I'm shaking my right hand."
I'm shaking
Right hand. And you'll notice that if you say it while you're doing it, your voice starts to move a little bit, right? That's right. And now you're going to move to your left hand. Left hand. I'm shaking my left hand. Yep. And then we're going to go to our right leg, our right foot. You might need to balance a little bit. And then I'm shaking my right foot. Shaking my right foot. Yep. And then you're going to go to our left. Switch feet. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. I'll bring the and then our left foot. I'm shaking my left foot.
I'm shaking my left foot.
I can't hear you guys. I'm shaking my left foot.
I'm shaking my left foot.
Yep, great. Now we're going to shake our shoulders. I'm shaking my shoulders.
The actresses of the company.
Yeah, it is a little silly. And then you're going to shake your butt. I'm shaking my butt.
Very good.
And then you're going to shake everything.
Oh!
Shaking everything. Great. And your body should feel a little bit warmed up. So now we're just going to also warm up our mouths, because this is where we speak and this is everything that we do. So you're just going to open your faces really wide, like, ah! Can you do it? Ah! And then you're going to squeeze it really, really tight, like, can you do that? Really scrunch it? And then open really wide. Ah! And scrunch it. And then you're going to put your whole face and look up. And bring your whole face up. And then down. And then to the right.
Right.
And then to the left.
Right and to the left.
And then in circles. So circles and circles and circles. And then the other way in circles. Yeah. And then we're going to blow through our lips a little bit. And then stick out your tongue and do a raspberry. And then we're just gonna you can take your fist and make a little fist and kind of hit your chest and just let some sound out. So you're just gonna go and then you're gonna make a little high-pitched sound kind of around your nose. So and now we're a little more warmed up than we were. Okay?
What?
And now now we're warmed up. You feel a little? You feel a little warmer?
Yeah.
So I think the first thing I want to do, guys, is and New York. It looks like everyone's not in front of the camera
New York suddenly had to leave the room, so they apologized and they say bye-bye.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. So Argentina, then it'll just be us. So so this exercise that we're going to do. Do you guys know you guys all know what a statue is? Yeah.
Like statues?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of create some statues. The six of you will create a statue based on some of the ideas in Macbeth. So a statue, I'm sure you've seen statues of people looking really dignified. There's also some probably on horses riding that look really elegant. And so what it'll be is the six of you will kind of get to create a statue together of some of the characters in Macbeth. So you can really kind of put in your body these characters that you've been reading about, right? So
may I tell you something?
Yes.
You know that our plan for our response activity to Macbeth will be living statues.
Oh, really?
So this is going to be of great help because next week we are going to work on statues, and the kids will have to choose a position, and well, they will have to be static for some time, and then they will start moving. So let's see if your exercise gives them ideas for next week.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Well, so first, can you guys name some of the characters in Macbeth that you remember? Some of their names.
Macbeth. Okay, we get organized one by one.
Yeah.
Witch.
Yeah.
No, your another witch.
Yeah.
Lady Macbeth.
Yeah.
Macduff. Malcolm. And Macbeth.
And Macbeth. Great.
Some kids are missing.
Yeah. No. But that's great. So we have Malcolm. We have we have Macbeth. We have Malcolm. We have Macduff. We have Lady Macbeth, and we have a witch and a witch.
Yes.
So I wonder if you could each take a turn making a kind of pose or a statue that you think would kind of sum up that character. So, for example, a witch, it might be, you might strike a pose of the witch casting a spell. If you were Macduff, you might strike a pose of fighting Macbeth. If you were Macbeth, you might strike a pose of having a lot of power and being king. So I wonder if we can each just take a turn, and one at a time, you guys can come up in front of the camera and strike a pose for your class.
Okay.
Would you guys like to try that?
Yes.
Okay, so we go back, and who is the first volunteer for the first statue? Here we have a witch.
A witch, great. So,
There we are. Which would be the position for your witch? Think. You can be casting spells, you can be talking to Macbeth.
I have to wait.
Yes, right now. You have to do the position.
Exactly the same thing that you wrote about. Not or whatever you want.
You have to show that you are the witch with that posture.
And I only have to start.
No, you have to do it.
so yeah. So without speaking, if you just had to strike a pose for a witch, what would it be?
There you are. Then do it.
That's great. Now see if you can hold it. Okay.
Hold it. Hold it. Keep it like that.
Hold the pose. Now, what if you brought your hands up a little bit so it got a little bit bigger, the pose? And then what if you really, really scrunched your face as if you were casting an evil spell? And now, what if you take one hand as if you're pointing at Macbeth? So as if you're telling him that he is going to be the king of the Thane of Cawdor, which is one of the prophecies that the witch has. So try again, smearing your face, having one hand in the air, as if you're conjuring something, and another finger pointing at him. And now that you're in that pose, now this is the next step of it. If you could make one sound that kind of comes from that pose, what kind of sound would it be?
Sound. Shout, Phoebe.
Now great. So now drop all that. Go back to neutral. And now, can you do all of that in one movement? So going from just standing there to then going to that position and making the sound.
You do everything and you do the sound.
That was great. That was great. All right, so let's try someone else, okay? Let's have another.
Okay, here we have Macduff.
Macduff. All right. So now, if you had to make a pose for Macduff, what do you think that pose would be?
Not sword.
No, but taking revenge.
He's taking revenge, but you have a sword or a dagger.
Yep,
Okay.
and you have a sword. Great. Yep, so that's great. So let's try, what if you took both hands to hold the sword? As if you were getting ready to hit someone. Yeah? And then what is the sound that you think would go with this gesture of being about to hit Macbeth with your sword? Yeah, and try it a little louder.
Again.
A little, even dare to be louder than that.
Don't be shy.
They are shy. They are
No,
shy.
it's okay. It's okay. So let's try this. Let's try. So drop that, and let's try what it is if you jump into that pose. So if you're standing normal and then you go, ah! Try it one more time.
Good.
Jumping down. Jumping down.
Again.
Yeah. And now I wonder, Macduff, can you stay there and can we get Macbeth to join?
Join Macbeth on stage. One back.
And let's have you guys kind of facing each other a little bit, just so you can do it to each other. So if you guys were getting ready to have a really epic battle, what's the pose that you would be in, Macbeth, with Macduff?
What would you do?
Nothing.
Another sword.
Another sword, yeah. So we can have you guys looking at each other and just have a little bit more space in between you.
This does not correspond to the...
Yeah?
You want to defend yourself.
Yeah. And then Macbeth, if you had to make a sound, what would it be right now?
Your sound.
A battle cry. Great. So let's try a little exercise where Macbeth, you make a sound, and then Macduff, in response to him, you go back, and then Macbeth in response. So it'll kind of be you guys yelling at each other, but let's have you, whenever you make a sound, strike the pose of. So you guys won't actually hit each other, but just striking the pose of getting ready to fight. So it'll be a little silly, but let's see what happens if Macbeth, you start by making a sound and striking a pose, and then Macduff, you do the same thing in reaction, and then you guys go back and forth, getting louder and louder and louder each time.
Louder shout.
Okay. So let's give it a try.
1, 2, 3.
So don't actually hit each other, but try doing it and then doing it again and then doing it again and see if it can get louder each time, okay?
1, 2, 3.
And again. Don't actually hit each other. That looks dangerous. That was very good. That was very good. That was great. That was great. Let's have Lady Macbeth.
Lady Macbeth.
So we could do a gesture. Which one? Maybe when she's rubbing her hands to get rid of the blood.
Which is your pose? Yes.
Yeah.
But do it like so that he can see your face and your hands.
Right. She's staring at her hands because she can't get out. She can't get the blood off of her hands. And try when you're looking at your hands, making a little high pitch sound, something like.
The noise. You are looking at your hands and you are.
Yeah, like that. That's all right. That's all right.
You're Lady Macbeth.
That's also one. So and then let's get Malcolm and let's get our second witch out here, and you guys can strike a pose together. Yeah. I think we had one. Malcolm. Malcolm, and then there was a second witch. Is that correct?
One of the witches.
One of the witches that hasn't gone yet.
We have another witch. There we are.
Yeah, there you go. So the witch is the one who kind of has made Macbeth kill Malcolm's father. Is that correct? The witch told Macbeth that he will be the next king, which then makes him kill Duncan, the king. So if let's have the witch casting a spell on Malcolm, and Malcolm, if you were to take a pose that's kind of mourning your father's death, which I know is a little serious, but maybe something where you have your palms open and you're looking up, like why is my father dead? And the witch is casting a spell on him. You guys want to try that? Striking those statues?
Can Malcolm kneel down? Because
yes, Malcolm can kneel down, yes.
You look at her, she casts the spell to her.
Yep. And if you both had to make a sound right now, what sound would it be? And try prolonging it a little while longer. So hold the sound out. Ah. And then the witch, what would your sound be? Here, let's get the other witch to join her, so we can have the two witches doing it on either side of Malcolm. Okay, so Malcolm, you can stay there, and let's have you both make your sound at the same time, the two witches.
Your sounds. Come on. 1, 2, 3.
Great. So let's have everyone come out now. Let's have everyone come out.
Everyone.
So now let's have everyone take on one character's gesture at the same time. So let's have everyone take on Malcolm's gesture that he found. So everyone goes down on their knees with their hands.
Everyone like Malcolm.
Like Malcolm. And let's all make the sound. Ah! And let's have everyone now be Macbeth and Macduff fighting. So everyone gets their sword, standing up. And everyone have their war cry without hitting each other, but their war cry. Ah! And then we can have everyone being the witches and casting a spell. And everyone making the sound. And then let's have everyone being Lady Macbeth looking at her hands, not being able to wash out the blood. So that was great, guys. So you see, really, really quickly, you all just made really bold characters, and you found sounds to accompany them, and you found physical gestures to kind of embody their states. In this play, they're all really alive, and there's really, really high stakes. Do you know what that word means? Stakes?
I don't know. We don't have stakes.
Stakes is when things are really, really important. When it's kind of like when there's not enough time and you're running to catch the bus, or you're running late to something and you're really stressed out, and it's really you get kind of really nervous, and your heartbeat starts racing. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Sort of a win-lose situation.
Right. It's like at the end of a football game when like the team has a ball and they only have 10 seconds left to score a goal, and everyone's crossing their fingers. So all of these characters in the play have really, really high stakes. Everything is really, really important to them. And what's great about those statues that you all just made is that you can always go back to either the witch, or Macbeth fighting, or Malcolm kind of mourning his father, or Lady M with her blood, and instantly you kind of have a character who is in a really, really intense situation, if that makes sense. So speaking of the witches, I'd kind of love to go into everyone casting a spell, if that's all right. Does that sound like fun to you guys?
Yes. How can you cast a spell?
We're going to do that together. So there's one line that I'm going to repeat, and I'm going to ask you guys to kind of learn it. It's really, really short, but the line is... Yeah, exactly. The line is, double, double, toil and trouble.
Double, double, toil and trouble.
Exactly. Yeah, you guys know it already. So I'm going to ask each of you, can I see all 6 of you? Because right now I can only see 5 of you. Can you guys scoot over a little bit?
Go backwards.
That's great. So I'm going to give each of you a thing to put inside the imaginary pot in front of you. It was great, you guys all stirring it together. So in the script of Macbeth, they have lots of different animals that they put into the pot. So I'm going to assign each of you an animal to see if you can remember it. Okay? So on the farthest to my right, what's your name?
Bautista.
Bautista?
Yes.
So I'm going to give you snake. Okay?
To put in the cauldron.
Hold it.
Snake. So and next I'm going to give frog.
Frog. Ivan. A frog.
Frog. Then the next I'm going to give a bat.
A bat.
Be careful with the way you hold it.
Yeah.
The bat, like this from
And then next I'm going to give a dog.
a duck.
A dog.
A dog. A dog.
The next I'm going to give a lizard.
A lizard.
And the last one I'm going to give a wolf.
Huh?
A wolf.
Very big.
Yeah. So all of these animals, it's written in the play that these animals are put together to make an evil potion. So does everyone remember their animal? Let's go down the line and everyone can list their animal.
Can you say that again?
Do you each remember which animal you have?
So what do you have?
A snake.
A frog.
A what? A dog. A lizard.
A wolf.
Great. So now remember that line that we all did? Double, double, toil, and trouble?
Can we say that?
Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble.
Great. So now the way it's going to work is that we're going to say that in between everyone's animal. So for example, the whole group will say double, double, toil and trouble, and then the snake. You'll put the snake into the imaginary pot, and then you'll all say double, double, toil and trouble, and then the next animal, the frog, will be put into the pot. And then you'll all say double, double, toil and trouble. So you're going to say that line in between each person putting their animal in the pot. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. Double.
So, and so by the end, we'll have made this kind of potion with all these animals. Okay. So do you want to give it a try?
Yes.
Great. So let's say it all together. Double.
Double. Fire burn and cauldron bubble.
And then the first animal gets put in. And say it when you put it in.
A snake. You shout.
Snake.
And then everyone double.
Double, toil and trouble.
And then the next animal gets put in.
A frog.
And then again. Double.
Double, toil and trouble.
Next animal. And again.
Double, toil and trouble. A dog. Double, double, toil and trouble. A lizard. Double, double, toil and trouble. A wood. Double, double, toil and trouble.
And then everyone laughed really meanly. Great, so you guys just made the potion that's in the play. Those are all the things that are inside of it. So, I mean, when you read it on the page, it's not always as easy to understand, but you guys just pretty much did a speech from Macbeth. You guys now know the witch's speech from Lady Macbeth, which is those animals, a snake, a frog, a bat, a dog, a lizard, and a wolf. And then in between each thing they put in the pot, they all say, double, double, toil and trouble.
You've got the speech in front of you, Chris. Does it go very long? I'm just wondering if you could read it.
I could, yeah. Would you guys like
to? They may
to?
not have heard the actual Shakespeare. They're working from my simple adaptation.
Oh, great. Would you guys like to hear me do the speech?
Yes.
Great. So I'll do it, and you'll notice that the language it builds. So as the spell goes on, it gets more and more heightened. So I'll perform the speech for you. All right?
Maybe as they hear their animal, they could throw it in.
Yeah, that'd be great. When I get to each animal, you guys can throw it in, and then when I say double, double, toil and trouble, you guys can all chime in, right? Because you know it.
Yes. Yes.
Great. So let's do it one more time, okay? And I'll read the speech, okay?
And also just move a little bit, Macbeth. Go more towards the door.
Oh yeah.
So because we're only seeing, yeah.
That's great. That's great.
That's it.
All right. So let's start with double, double, toil and trouble all together, okay? Double, double, toil and trouble. Fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of a fenny snake.
Snake!
In the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog.
A frog.
Wool of bat.
A bat!
And tongue of dog.
A dog!
Adder's fork and blindworm sting. Lizard's leg.
Lizard!
And owlet's wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf.
A wolf!
Witch's mummy, maw and gulf. Of the raven, saltsy shark, roof of hemlock digged in the dark. Gall of goat and slips of yew, silvered in the moon eclipse. Nose of Turk and Tartar's lips. Finger of birth strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drabe, make the gruel thick and slab, and thereto to a tiger's chaldron, for the ingredients of our cauldron, all together, double, double. Fire burn and cauldron bubble. That was great, guys. Yeah, so we just did this together. So, if you guys can see, you know, it can be really fun and messy and icky stuff, you know? Just because it was written 400 years ago doesn't mean that it isn't still, I mean, it's gross, right? You think about putting all these animals in a pot and cooking them?
It's crazy.
It's crazy, right? I mean, that's something that you might see on a TV show today, a witch putting a snake and a dog and a lizard and a dragon and a wolf in a big pot and cooking it all together. It still is really really exciting stuff. How are we doing on time, Annabelle?
I think that's probably what we've got time for.
Okay, great.
Viviana, it's probably that's sort of how much time we have.
Oh, we have 10 more minutes if you want. There's no problem.
Okay. I'm wondering if we can do something. What else could we do with 10 minutes?
We could do. Let's see.
It was great what you did with the statues and with the sounds. It was really funny, interesting, and very useful for our project.
Thank you. I mean, I would love to know if any of you have any questions maybe after working on this. I don't know, or if any of the students have any thoughts about.
You know what they can do? You know what they can do? Yesterday we've been thinking. Each of them took a role, and they were thinking what they would say if they were those characters. Perhaps we can work a little bit on point of view.
That would be great, yeah.
I can tell you what they recorded yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Right now.
Yeah, we can imagine that we are
Yes,
those characters, and we can say, yes, it's 50 seconds each. Would you like to think about that? And everybody, I am
my friend.
Okay, we have a volunteer. Let's see.
That's a brave person.
Sit down there.
I am Macbeth, and I want to be the king of all Scotland.
Great.
What else?
I don't agree with my wife that she said that I have to kill a lot of people to achieve it, but
You are too ambitious.
you are too ambitious.
You.
Yeah, I am too ambitious.
That's great. And then Macbeth, what kind of things do you really like? What kind of things do you love as Macbeth?
Do you like Macbeth?
Power, being king.
Yes.
And what do you get to do as king of Scotland? What you get to tell people what to do?
What?
Would you like to be, if you were the king of Scotland, what would you do, or what would you like to do?
What is the word?
Conquer.
Conquer more lands and be a correct king. I don't know.
What would you do? I mean, if you could be king and you could tell people what to do, would you have them get you candy? Would you have them take you to the beach? What would you have them do if you could tell people what to do?
That is a difficult question.
Yes.
It is a difficult question, but I'm asking not as the character, but you as a fifth grader, if you could have things that you really want, what would you wish for?
A palace.
A palace.
A palace.
What is that?
For me. A castle for me.
A castle for you, and what would you like all the rooms in the castle to be? What kind of rooms in the castle would you have?
To watch TV.
And what else? Would you have a big playroom?
Yes.
And video games? Maybe.
Not much.
Would you have a sports room?
Yes.
And would you have a big? Would you have a candy room or a food room?
No.
No.
For a room for.
Would you invite a sports team?
With my friends.
A room for your friends. Yep. What did you say, Annabelle?
Would he invite any sports players to his castle? Who would he invite?
Who would you invite to the castle?
I don't know if you know about Billy Webu.
I don't. Who is that?
A very good rugby player.
Okay. Great. And you would have him. And you would have him over.
You would invite him.
You would invite him.
Let's see. Another actor.
Great.
Yes, you are convinced.
Hi, I'm Malcolm, and I escaped because I could be the second to die, but and I go to England. But now I am the king and I have the power.
Yeah.
Oh, this is at the very end.
At the very end, yeah. Yeah, and so why does Malcolm come back and want to be king so badly?
Why does Malcolm want to be the king? At the end.
Why? Because he liked.
Okay, tell him.
Because he liked.
Being the king.
Because he liked being the king.
Yeah. And also he deserves to be the king, right?
Yes.
Why? His father?
Because his father was the king.
And now, is there something? I'm speaking to you, not as Malcolm, but you. Is there something that you really want to be when you grow up, when you be older?
Be the king of England.
Oh, you, Ivan. Can I send him to UK? Perhaps
Definitely.
he can have any
Wow.
possibility.
They need him.
That's great. That's great. Well, no, I mean, I'm asking about, what you want as well, because these characters are real people who want things, and that's why they act the way that they do. So Malcolm comes back from running away from his kingdom in a fear. He comes back and takes back the crown because he really, really, really wants to be king. And in the same way that Macbeth really, really wants power. He wants to have his own castle. He wants to have a room to, you know, like he was saying before, like a game room. I mean, Macbeth wants different things, but he wants the power to have what he wants, and he won't stop until he gets it. So thank you for saying about Malcolm what he wants.
I will bring Lady Macbeth.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
I'm Lady Macbeth, and I'm very ambitious because I want to be the Queen of Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I pushed my husband to kill King Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
Then, I don't know.
And what about the sleepwalking?
People say that I sleepwalk, but I don't think that I need any doctor because I'm fine. I'm fine.
So why does Lady Macbeth, do you think, does she die at the end? Do you think why do you think so?
Because she's mad.
Because she's really angry? Or
she's mad. I think
she's
that.
And
Insane, I think. Insane.
Insane. Yeah.
Yes, she feels guilty.
Guilty. Yeah. Because she tells her husband to do this thing, and then what happens? He doesn't stop, right? He keeps going crazier and crazier. Yeah. Yeah. And so if Lady Macbeth could have her way, she would have. If Lady Macbeth could win, so like she would have her husband be king, and then everything would be great, right? If he was king and you were queen, that's the best.
Yes.
Yes. But then, what goes wrong that makes you go mad?
She feels guilty because she has killed people, so many people, that she gets mad.
That she can't live with herself anymore.
Like that, yes.
Because of all the bad things that she's done. Yeah.
She was scared of the spirit of the people she had killed.
Yeah, exactly. It haunts her. Yeah, that's great.
Very good.
Yeah, that was great.
Shall we have another one? One more?
Yeah, let's have one more.
Hey.
Hi, I am Macduff, and I was the friend of Macbeth, but now I am not more because he called a murder to kill my other friend Bannow.
Uh-huh. How close friends were you guys?
Are you close friends?
Yes.
Do you have close friends in Argentina too?
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, it would be as if one of your really, really close friends all of a sudden stopped. I mean, can you imagine if one of your really, really close friends tried to hurt you?
I take revenge, or I don't know what to do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because really, Macduff and Macbeth are best friends.
Yes.
For a long, long time, and then Macbeth turns on Macduff to the point where you have to come back at the end and actually kill Macbeth, right?
Yes.
So
How
it's
would you?
really. I mean, it's a really hard character because it's a lot of feelings, right? It's a lot of.
Yes, I feel furious, or.
Yeah. really, really furious. Because I mean, I've never been that mad to kill someone, but I've been, you know, I've been really, really mad before. But I can't even imagine how mad he must get in order to do that.
He's a traitor.
Yes, he's a traitor.
Yeah, yeah. That's great. Great. Can I see everyone just before we finish up? Great, guys. So what's great about what you just did, some of you did individually, where you talked about your characters, is that even though it's in a play, these characters are real people with real problems that we can, and that's how we enter the play, is by understanding these characters, by understanding that Macbeth and Macduff are really, really, really good friends. And what happens when good friends get into a really horrible fight is kind of what happens in this play. Or when Lady Macbeth convinces her husband to kill someone, and then she can't live with herself because of what she's done, right? Or Malcolm, who deserves to be king, and then gets it taken away from him by someone who doesn't deserve to be king. And that's why he comes back at the end to become king, is because, you know, it's all really, really accessible, if you know what that word is, or it's very truthful to life.
Yeah, they can relate to it in real life.
Yeah. And that's what makes Shakespeare so much fun, is that obviously I hope that none of us ever have to deal with a situation like Macbeth. I hope none of you ever meet a witch. I hope none of you ever have to use violence, and I hope that none of you ever have to fight with your best friend. But by reading about these characters who are forced to do these really, really extreme things, we learn about people, and we learn about ourselves. And you guys are really young, so you have a lot of time to read and grow. But hopefully, as you guys get older, you guys will keep reading Shakespeare and keep finding how much fun it is, because it's really exciting storytelling. It's really exciting stories. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today, and for playing. It's been really, really fun.
Yeah, thanks so much, Chris. You really made it great.
Thank you very much, Chris. It has been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure
to share with you this moment for us. I mean, having the possibility of being with you, being part of this project is really a pleasure. So
great.
Thank you. Thank you to Annabelle.
Oh, you're very, very welcome.
And well, we go on working on Macbeth for some
Great.
months.
Great.
Excellent. Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.